If you're over 50 and you've started to notice those subtle twinges in your knees, that little ache going down the stairs, or a new stiffness after you've been sitting for a while, you've probably heard the same old advice. People say, well, it's just part of getting older, and for years, maybe you've accepted that. But what if that nagging discomfort wasn't an inevitable sentence? What if a part of the answer, a part you have complete control over, has been on your plate this entire time? It's a surprising thought, isn't it? Many of us, with the very best intentions, are diligently trying to eat well. We choose a whole grain breakfast, a salad with a low-fat dressing for lunch, all in the name of health. Yet sometimes it feels like our efforts aren't paying off in how our joints feel. There's a hidden connection here that often goes unnoticed. The truth is, certain foods that wear a healthy label can secretly fan the flames of inflammation inside your joints. This isn't about dramatic allergies, it's a quiet, cumulative effect. Today, we will pull back the curtain on 7 of these common, supposedly healthy foods that could be quietly working against your mobility and comfort. Now, please understand, this is not a message of fear or deprivation, far from it. This is about empowerment. It's about making smarter, more informed swaps that allow you to continue enjoying your food while giving your knees the support they truly need. Imagine being able to walk through the park, play with your grandchildren, or simply get through your day feeling lighter on your feet and with significantly less discomfort. That is our goal together. To get there, we first need to understand one simple, powerful concept that links your kitchen to your knees. Before we explore that list of 7 surprising foods, it's essential we get comfortable with one single, powerful word. That word is inflammation. Now, I know that term can sound clinical and intimidating, but I want you to picture it in a completely new way. Think of inflammation not as a complex disease, but as a very small, smoldering fire inside your body. This is a crucial distinction. A little bit of this fire is perfectly normal and even necessary. It's your body's natural repair crew rushing to a site of injury, like if you sprain an ankle. That heat and swelling are part of the healing process. The real problem for your knees begins when this fire doesn't go out. Instead of a controlled burn that subsides, it becomes a continuous, low-grade smolder right within your joints. This is what we often call chronic inflammation. Imagine a tiny, persistent flame quietly burning in the delicate environment of your knee day after day. This constant heat is what leads to the stiffness you feel in the morning, the swelling you might notice, and that deep, persistent ache that makes moving so difficult. Now, here is the most important part of this entire conversation, the piece that gives you all the power. The food you eat every single day acts as the primary fuel for this fire. Every meal, every snack is a choice. You are either choosing to throw a log onto that smoldering fire, making it burn hotter and brighter, or you are choosing to pour a cool, calming glass of water on it. This is not a metaphor. It's a biological reality. Certain foods contain compounds that directly signal your body's defense system, your immune system, to become more active. It's as if these foods are sending a false alarm, telling your body there's a threat that needs to be attacked. Your loyal immune system, sometimes a little confused, responds by turning up the heat, creating more of that inflammatory fire, often in your most vulnerable joints. Understanding this simple internal process is the master key. It connects the choices you make in your kitchen directly to the comfort you feel in your knees. Once you see this connection clearly, you'll realize that you are not powerless against the passage of time. You have a direct line of influence, and it starts with your very next meal. Let's begin with a breakfast staple many of us trust for our health: whole wheat. You've likely made the switch from white bread and pasta, believing you're doing your heart and digestion a favor. And for many, that's absolutely true. But for a significant number of people, especially as our bodies change with age, certain proteins found in these grains can become a hidden problem. Think of gluten and other natural plant compounds hormones called lectins. For a sensitive system, these aren't seen as nourishment. Instead, your immune system can mistake them for foreign invaders. It's a classic case of mistaken identity. This confusion triggers your body's defense patrol, launching an inflammatory response aimed at a threat that doesn't actually exist. Unfortunately, that response doesn't stay in your gut. The inflammatory signals can travel throughout your body, often settling with discomfort in your joints. The good news is, this is incredibly easy to test. You don't need a lab. Simply try swapping your whole wheat toast for a week with a gentler option like sourdough or oatmeal, and just notice if you feel a difference in your knee stiffness. It's a simple experiment that could bring you significant relief. Now, let's turn our attention to your cooking oil. You may have stocked your pantry with bottles labeled vegetable oil, soybean oil, or corn oil, believing they were the heart-smart choice. And while they are often marketed that way, for your joints, the story is very different. The issue lies in a type of fat called omega-6. Your body needs a little of this, but these oils are absolutely packed with it. Think of your body's inflammation system as a delicate seesaw. On one side, you have pro-inflammatory signals, on the other, calming, repair-oriented signals. Omega-6 fats heavily weight the side of inflammation. They act like a team, constantly pushing that seesaw down, creating an internal environment that is primed for swelling and pain. This is especially true if you're not eating enough of their balancing partner, omega-3 fats, found in foods like fish and walnuts. This imbalance is what tips the scales toward discomfort. The revelation here is to check not just your bottled oils, but the ingredients in the packaged foods you buy, as these oils are hidden everywhere. And where you find these oils, you often find our next category of problematic foods. This brings us to a true wolf in sheep's clothing that might be sitting in your refrigerator door right now. Store-bought salad dressings and mayonnaises. You've built a beautiful, healthy salad full of crisp greens and colorful vegetables, doing everything right for your body. But then you pour on a dressing that is typically made with the very inflammatory oils we just discussed: soybean, corn, or sunflower oil. Often, these dressings are also loaded with hidden sugars or high-fructose corn syrup to improve the taste. In an instant, that virtuous meal can become a source of joint irritation. You are literally drizzling inflammation directly onto your healthful choices. But here is the empowering part. The solution is simple, quick, and far more delicious. You can take back control in just 2 minutes. Try making your own dressing at home. Whisk together extra virgin olive oil, which is anti-inflammatory, with some lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, a dab of mustard, and your favorite herbs. It's a small switch that protects your positive habit. This idea of hidden ingredients in seemingly healthy foods doesn't stop at the salad bar. It continues into another area of the store many of us trust for quick, nutritious options. Many of us reach for a flavored yogurt for bone health or a pre-made smoothie for a quick, nutritious boost. It feels like a smart choice, but here is the hidden catch that few people discuss: the staggering amount of sugar in these products. When you consume that much sugar, it doesn't just affect your waistline, it directly targets your joints through a process called glycation. Imagine the sugar in your bloodstream behaving like a sticky syrup. This syrup-like sugar naturally floating around your body seeks out proteins and latches onto them. Your joints are incredibly rich in a crucial, flexible protein called collagen, which acts like a shock absorber. When sugar molecules stick to this collagen, they create what scientists call advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. This is a very fitting name because this process literally makes your flexible, resilient collagen stiff, brittle, and old before its time. It's like pouring glue into the delicate hinges of your knees. This stiffening causes pain and directly fuels more inflammation. So that seemingly healthy strawberry yogurt or bottled green smoothie could be secretly making your joints creak. But sugar isn't the only surprising irritant. even some whole savory vegetables can be a problem for certain individuals. Now, this next one may come as the biggest surprise of all, because it involves a family of common, nutritious vegetables: tomatoes, bell peppers, potatoes, and eggplant. These are part of the nightshade family, and for most people, they are perfectly healthy. But if you've been eating a wonderfully Mediterranean diet full of these foods and still can't find relief for your knees, this could be your missing clue. It's crucial to understand this is a sensitivity, not a full-blown allergy. These plants naturally produce tiny amounts of protective compounds called alkaloids. In the majority of us, these cause no issue. However, in a sensitive individual, these same compounds can be misinterpreted by the body. They may gently irritate the nervous system or interfere with normal enzyme activity in the joints. For someone who is sensitive, it's like a constant low-level background noise of irritation that amplifies any existing inflammation you already have. The key here is not to fear these vegetables, but to play detective. Try eliminating all nightshades for just 2 weeks, then reintroduce them one by one. Pay close attention to how your knees feel. It's a simple experiment that could provide you with profound, personalized answers. After looking at these whole foods, we must turn to the opposite end of the spectrum, the artificially created health foods lining the supermarket shelves. For a convenient snack or a quick meal, it's tempting to grab a protein bar or a meal replacement shake. They're packaged with promises of energy and health, making you feel you're making a smart choice. But let's look a little closer at what you're actually eating. This is where becoming a label detective becomes your superpower. Most of these bars and shakes present a triple threat to your joint comfort. First, they are often held together with the same inflammatory seed oils we discussed earlier. Second, they can be surprisingly high in sugar or corn syrup. And third, they frequently contain a list of artificial additives, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners that your gut bacteria simply do not recognize as real food. This is a classic factory versus nature situation. When your gut health is disrupted by these synthetic ingredients, it can trigger widespread inflammation throughout your body, inevitably reaching your joints. So the next time you pick up one of these bars, turn it over. If the ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment with words you can't pronounce, it's a clear sign to gently place it back on the shelf. This focus on artificial ingredients leads us perfectly to our final and very specific food culprit. Our final item is for those of you who have been incredibly diligent about reducing sugar, perhaps for your blood sugar or weight. You've switched to sugar-free sodas, yogurts, and desserts sweetened with artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, believing you've found the perfect solution, and your intention is absolutely correct. However, for some people, these synthetic sweeteners can create a different kind of problem. It's a story of a false alarm within your body. Your taste buds detect an intense sweetness, signaling to your brain that a large dose of sugar is incoming. Your body prepares for it, releasing hormones and priming your digestion. But then, the expected calories and nutrients never arrive. This metabolic confusion can create a stress response. Furthermore, emerging research suggests these synthetic sweeteners may alter the delicate balance of your gut microbiome, your internal ecosystem that plays a huge role in controlling inflammation. For a sensitive system, this can be enough to trigger the very inflammatory response you were trying to avoid. This isn't to cause alarm, but to encourage you to fine-tune your good habit. Now that we understand what to limit, let's fill your plate with the foods that actively support your needs. Now, let's transform that knowledge into positive, practical action. This isn't about a restrictive diet, it's a gentle kitchen makeover, replacing items that may cause friction with those that promote smooth movement. Instead of whole wheat bread that might irritate, try sourdough or certified gluten-free oats. Swap out those inflammatory vegetable oils for extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil for cooking. Ditch the store-bought salad dressing and whip up your own with that olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. Exchange sugar-flavored yogurt for plain Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries. If you're sensitive to nightshades, explore the wonderful world of sweet potatoes, carrots, and cucumbers. Rather than a processed protein bar, reach for a handful of almonds and an apple. And if you use artificial sweeteners, consider a small amount of raw honey or pure maple syrup. Or better yet, allow your taste buds to rediscover the natural sweetness in whole foods. Each of these swaps is a simple, deliberate choice to cool inflammation and nourish your joints. It's about upgrading your pantry with foods that work in harmony with your body. Now that you have these individual swaps, you might be wondering how they all come together to create a full day of satisfying, knee-friendly meals. Let's paint a picture of what a full day of eating for your knees can look like. It's far from deprivation. It's about enjoying delicious, familiar foods that also happen to be incredibly supportive. Imagine starting your morning with a warm bowl of oatmeal made with water or almond milk, topped with a handful of blueberries and a spoonful of almond butter. For lunch, a large salad with mixed greens, grilled chicken, cucumber, and carrots, all tossed in your simple homemade olive oil and lemon dressing. For an afternoon snack, enjoy that plain Greek yogurt with a few slices of apple. And for dinner, a comforting meal of baked salmon with a side of roasted sweet potatoes and steamed green beans. Drizzle everything with a little more of that golden olive oil. Each meal is a conscious step away from potential irritants and towards powerful anti-inflammatory ingredients. You're not just eating, you're actively helping your body repair and soothe itself with every single bite. This approach gives you a clear and tasty template you can adapt to your own preferences, building a sustainable pattern for lasting joint comfort that extends throughout your entire week. Remember, the food on your plate is your most powerful tool for calming joint inflammation, but it's not the only tool in your kit. For truly lasting relief and protection, we need to think about supporting your knees from every possible angle. This is where a holistic approach makes all the difference. Think of it as a team of 3 close friends working together. Your nutrition, gentle movement, and proper hydration. Each one supports the others, making the entire team stronger. Let's talk about movement first. If your knees are already sore, the idea of exercise might be intimidating, but this isn't about running or high-impact workouts. Think of gentle, daily movement as essential maintenance, like oiling a squeaky hinge. When you move your joints through their full range of motion, whether it's a leisurely walk in the park, a session of water aerobics, or even simple leg lifts while sitting in a chair, you are pumping vital nutrients and lubrication into the cartilage. This movement helps wash away inflammatory debris and keeps the tissues supple and nourished. Now, let's not overlook the simplest yet most overlooked teammate: water. Your joint cartilage is mostly composed of water. When you are dehydrated, that cartilage becomes brittle, more like a dry sponge than a hydrated cushion. This makes it far more susceptible to wear and tear and pain. By making a conscious effort to drink plenty of water throughout the day, you are actively plumping up those natural shock absorbers in your knees. When you combine these gentle, consistent habits with your new, knee-friendly way of eating, you are no longer just addressing one problem. You are building a comprehensive, daily shield for your knees, ensuring they are supported, nourished, and protected from every possible angle for the long term. So, as you move forward from here, carry this one essential truth with you. The ache in your knees is not an inevitable life sentence you must simply accept. You are not a passive bystander to your own body. You now hold a powerful new understanding and a clear, practical map to take back control. It all begins with the choices you make, starting with what you choose to put on your fork. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. That path leads to overwhelm. Instead, just pick 1 or 2 of those healthy foods we discussed this week to gently swap out. Pay close attention. Notice if you feel a little lighter, a little less stiff. This entire journey is about empowerment, not restriction. It's about finally giving your body the right building blocks it needs to repair, soothe, and thrive. You have the power to calm that internal fire, to directly support your knees with every meal and every movement. You are the informed captain of your health now. With this knowledge, you can truly step more lightly, more comfortably, and with more freedom into all the days ahead.